The
Hello, everybody. It's Joe, aka NerdFist. We're back again today playing some more Power Rangers S.P.D. Right? What does that stand for? Space Patrol Division? Space Patrol Delta? Ugh. It's this pink thing. It kind of reminds me of, guys, you remember that show, SNORKS? That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a snork. If you've never seen the show, it was like it was like a cartoon show from the 80s, right? And it was all these little creatures. And I guess it was kind of like similar to maybe like the Smurfs or like Care Bears or something of that nature. And it was all these little dudes. Well, not just dudes. There was lady snorks as well, but they lived under the water, right? It was kind of like SpongeBob, and they would get into adventures. And I think they even might have like rode around on like seahorses or something. Oop! Jump over these cars. I kind of like these little driving bits. Running around as a dog. I wish they'd do another. I want another like missile command stage. That's what I want. But these are good. They kind of break it up. But yeah, Snorks. They all had little snorkels on their head. Hence, the show being called Snorks. It was a great show. Not really selling it, but I haven't seen it in forever. It'd be cool if they. I wish they had it like a channel, and I think maybe even Cartoon Network might have a somewhat similar channel, but I want like a channel that's like all cartoons from like the 80s, maybe late 70s, 80s, and 90s. So it'd be like Thundercats, He-Man, Transformers, Mask, what was that show? Like even like Beetlejuice, like going into the 90s, or maybe even late 80s. When did the Beetlejuice cartoon come out? I guess like 90, something like that. Because I remember the toys, like they had the Burger King toys and all that kind of stuff. But like stuff like that, and like the real Ghostbusters, like all those shows, I would love to see a channel where it was like nothing but that. But of course, I guess now you don't really need that. But it doesn't seem like stuff like Hulu or Netflix or whatever. Ooh, we got to catch this taxi. He has a floating triangle on top of him. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to bump it? Okay, just drive past him. All right, that makes sense. But what is that? Okay, that's that pink car, and it's like put up some type of roadblock thing. Delta Squad. Is that what that stands for? Delta Squad Patrol Delta? Is that it? um, but here comes the blue dog again. Rangers. But yeah, I want like a old cartoon channel, and I think they had like what was it, Toonami? What was it, Toonami? What was that shit? What was it? They kind of had one, and then Nickelodeon was kind of have like an old Nicktoon commercial, like stuff like I guess like maybe like Ren and Stimpy and like Hey Arnold and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it ever took off or not. It shows how how much I really want it, but I would think something like Hulu or Netflix or something would buy like all those old cartoon shows because they can't be worth that much. I mean, honestly, how much is the whole series of Mask? I can't imagine it's that it's that expensive. Maybe if you want to get the rights to it, to make like a Mask movie, which would be awesome. I'm surprised that that's not something they haven't done. Although I did think I heard something about that Hasbro or some other company. I think it was Hasbro. Maybe it's Hasbro that has Mask, but they had signed like some deal with either Warner Brothers or oh shit, I about fell out of my chair. Okay, I get myself. Now we can go jump around. But it was like Hasbro or something had signed like a deal with some company, for all their like they basically bought like all of the movie rights to all their stuff, and I think it was Mask was one of them, and maybe it was like Silverhawks or like something else, like one of those other shows. I gotta wait for this to recharge. Here we go. But yeah, I would love something like that, especially Mask. Mask, I think, would really lend itself to like a cool kind of like heist movie, kind of maybe something along the lines of what they're doing with the like the Fast and the Furious movies. I could definitely see that kind of being in the same vein, because there's a lot of cars, and you'd have cars, and that was the thing about Mask, is that the cars would like transform into other stuff. Like you'd have like a sports car that turns into an airplane, and then I think it was like a Ford Bronco or something that it had like a missile launcher or something in the back, and then you had that little R2-D2 looking robot thing that would like turn into a motorcycle. Ugh, it was an awesome show. I'm getting hurt here. You need to stick to one side. You're starting to gang up on me. But yeah, Morphin Month. Playing all these Power Ranger games for Morphin Month. And this video might actually come out after Morphin Month is over. Kind of doing the math in my head. So I don't know when these last few videos will come out. So there'll probably be a few leftover videos going into next month, but not too many. After that, I'm kind of done with Power Rangers for a while. Even though I might do some like reviews of the games that we've been playing, they'll probably come out maybe next month, or maybe not next month. I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about. Who knows? Who knows if I'll do it? Knowing me, I'll probably lose interest in the channel and then just not do anything for a while. That kind of seems to be how it goes. It kind of goes in waves, right? Because I'll do something, and I'll get like some like feedback from people like, "Oh, this is really good, do more," and I'll keep on doing more. But then, it's like nobody wants to do, any of the other stuff. So it kind of makes me not want to do stuff as much. But I've really been enjoying this last month, because I think I've basically put out a video every day, which is something I really haven't done in a very long time. It's like I might do it for a week, and then I won't put something out for, like a few weeks. Oh, God. I'm getting hurt. Let's line these dudes up. Take them out. But, yeah, because of the, I've had a whole theme this month, all about Power Rangers and stuff. Yeah, I've really dug deep into Power Rangers. And I have to say, I've become a fan. I wasn't a huge fan before, but I've definitely become one now. And I actually kind of want to do, this year, I'm doing the 365 movies in 365 days. And I'm kind of starting to fall behind. I'm not that far behind. I'm about on track. But I kind of put rules, for myself, that I can't watch any movie that I've seen before. I mean, I can, but it doesn't count towards the 365. They all have to be movies I haven't seen before. And it's really starting to come up short with trying to find movies, because I know there's a ton of movies I haven't seen, but there's not so many movies that I want to watch. You know what I mean? So, like I haven't seen certain movies, but I don't really want to watch those movies. And so it's kind of hard to find stuff that I want to watch, but yet haven't seen. So, and there's also a lot of movies that I know I have seen, but I don't remember. It's like movies that like I know I've seen. Like I know that I've seen the movie Gamer with what's his name, and I kind of remember somewhat what it's about. Because it's about like prisoners that another Green Ranger mission. Shit, I hate the Green Ranger missions. So hopefully this won't be too much of a maze and we can get through it pretty quick. Yeah. But we almost got steamed in the face. But yeah, like I remember Gamer, I didn't know it's kind of about like like people on death row, and people like take control of them, like in a like this like real world video game type thing. I can't remember everything about it, but I know I've seen it. I remember renting it. Like I have like memories of being excited for it and like renting it, but I just don't I don't remember much of the movie. But yet I've known I've seen it, so I don't know if I should allow that type of thing. Like, because there was another movie too. So these are supposed to be shrunk people. Is that what I'm picking up? I think that's what it's supposed to be. Little shrunk people. They look weird, and they're all green, which I guess makes sense. But um, um, so yeah, I don't know if I should allow stuff like that because there was another movie. What was it called? I think it was called Strange Wilderness, but it has like a lot of funny people in it, and I know I've seen it at some point because I also remember renting it, so I know I've seen it, but I remember absolutely nothing about the movie, other than I think I might remember a few plot elements. But yeah, I know I've seen it, but I don't want to, should I just allow that, so I can actually kind of, build up on some of these movies? I don't know. But I have watched a few movies that I didn't think I would like, but really did, or, just kind of went into with no expectations. So I actually thought about, maybe doing a, like a whole series on like the movies I'm watching, so that you can kind of keep track with me. I don't know if I will or not. It sounds like it might be too much work. I don't know if anybody would watch it. But then again, that's not really why I do YouTube stuff anyway, so who cares? This is another one of those Ninja Turtle tracks. I really like this. I like this music. That's really good music. I like it. But yeah, speaking of movies, I was reading a thing earlier that that a movie director, Yui Boyle, we've talked about him on the channel before. I actually made a video about him. Like, I guess it's been over a year ago now, but he retired from filmmaking, and he's kind of been looked at as like the worst movie director of all time, which I don't think he is. I think there's a lot of people that make like worse movies, and that's coming from a guy who watches movies a lot of times, for a living. Like my day job is, I work, I run like a film festival, so I'm constantly, watching movies all day. So I don't think he's the worst movie director ever, but at the same time, he doesn't make great movies either. But some of his movies, I think, are like, they're almost like they're hidden gems, So maybe I'll do some more of those for that. I made one hidden gems video, and I think I might do some more, because it got a pretty good response. So I might do some more hidden gem videos, and I think some of his movies could be seen as hidden gems, even though they're, the director himself is not, very good. But I was reading this write up about him because I think it was in Variety or something. This writer did like a whole thing about him like retiring, and he met with him because I guess now he has kind of moved away from directing movies. He's still producing movies, but he's kind of turned his attention towards a restaurant he owns. I guess it's in Vancouver or somewhere. I'm not sure, but apparently, like the restaurant is like getting amazing reviews. It's like everybody hated his movies. Apparently, his restaurant and his food is like freaking amazing. So the guy was talking about his history of making movies, and I guess his earlier films actually got some pretty good reviews. They were actually really good, but they came out at like a weird time. Like there was one movie that they were talking about that he made that just had these amazing like camera shots and stuff in it. But it came out right around the same time as this other movie, this kind of like indie movie that I guess for that year got all the attention, and his little movie just kind of got lost. And then he took a job doing directing a video game movie, and he had no interest in different video games, but yet he could make them cheaply. And because he would like sell the television rights and all this, all these rights beforehand, the movies were profitable if he kept them under budget. And then, it really didn't matter, what they did at the box office or anything else. So it was an interesting read. But he was kind of talking about how he went through this whole like kind of arc of being known as a horrible movie director, because at first he didn't want to believe it. He thought that he was like, these people are just crazy, and he didn't want to accept that people didn't like his movies. And there was a whole time when he was saying, if you don't like my movie, I'll fight you. And he actually did. Like in 2006, he actually fought, I think it was like 4 or 5 of his critics in a boxing match, and he beat the crap out of all of them. And it said that like one of the dudes who was he was kind of like a young critic at the time. I guess he was somebody that left bad IMDb reviews or something. I think he was only like 17 years old at the time they did the boxing match. He said that like afterwards he like pissed blood and stuff. He like beat him up so bad. And like one guy vomited and all this kind of stuff. So it was pretty interesting reading how he kind of started off like he thought he was good, and a few people like really liked some of the stuff he was doing, and then he made like this video game movie, this zombie video game movie that people hated. And he kind of said something that I kind of agree with. He said that, this is a zombie movie. What'd you expect it to be? The Shawshank Redemption? And so he kind of started off, being very confident, I guess. And then when he started realizing that people didn't like his movies, or that he was kind of becoming known as like a bad director, he kind of fought against it for a while. But then he said for a while he embraced it. He was like, if this is what I'm going to be known as, why not make this my brand? Or, it sounds really weird, that you would make being horrible, like your trademark or, whatever. But then afterwards, he said that, after he did that for a year or a few years, he made all these like video game movies. And, there's the Snork. Oh man, it's this thing again. Didn't we fight him like in level 2 or something? I can't remember. Hiya. Take my punches. There you go, bitch. Oop. We almost got him. We got like half his health. Oh shit. Tuck and roll. Oop. Tuck and roll. Excuse me. Alright, we got it back. Hiya. Oop. I was facing the wrong way. There we go. Oh, we almost got him. There we go. Mission clear. But yeah. So he after all these years of doing these like video game movies, and kind of accepting that he wasn't going to be a love director, he didn't like that anymore. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to prove that I can make some good movies. So he started doing more, kind of more serious stuff. He made like a Holocaust movie, and like this movie about Die 4 or wherever, I can't remember where it was. Who? God, this is so clunky. So clunky. But after he made those movies, special mode. Take my sword. Hiya. After he made those movies, he kind of realized that people wouldn't give him a chance, even if he did make something that was good. He said that some of these movies, I think, are good, but just because they have my name on them, people don't give them a chance. And I kind of think he has a point there, because he said that his Darfur movie, he said that if it had George Clooney in it, which I guess he originally tried to get George Clooney for it, he said if it had George Clooney in it, he said it could have been an Oscar contender, but because he's Yui Boyle, he could only get Billy Zane, which is kind of a thing at Billy Zane. But anyway, this is the end. I think we'll cut it here. I've been Joe, aka NerdFist. I'll see you on the next show.